You know, Dave, I'm not saying you should do everything around here, but maybe like a little bit more than, charging the batteries and pressing one button and then going to bed, No, this is not a clickbait title, and I also checked it's not April the 1st either. It's real, people. Welcome back to Long Way Home, everyone. The place where getting your motorcycle news is easier than getting a discount from BMW, but not by much. There's so many of them, Dave. Look at all of them. It's like he's a professional writer of some sort. The KTM one's pretty funny though, based in reality. Maintenance-free bike chains, like as in zero lifetime maintenance, no cleaning, no lubricating, no retentioning, no nothing. BMW is gonna have a hard time selling their shaft drives now because from this moment on, shaft drives require more work than new chains. Since you have to change the oil from time to time, they're heavy, etc, etc. Stick around while we see what wizardry this is. In a weird turn of events, it's none other than BMW, which killed their own shaft drives. It seems the Bavarians spent their lockdown quite productively and came out with the M Endurance chain. Now, a typical motorcycle chain consists of approximately 500 pieces and is responsible for the power transfer from the gearbox to the wheel. Modern bike chains are equipped with O-ring seals or X-ring seals. These seals are intended to keep a lubricated sealant inside the chain between the pin and the bush exactly where it's needed. While the inside rolling action of the chain is now lubricated and sealed, the chain still needs regular maintenance since the O-rings are made of rubber, which has a high coefficient of friction and are very sensitive to any damage. Chains also wear out at the point where the inner and outer side plates are connected by the pin. If this contact point is not sufficiently lubricated, the pin will wear into the bush because of the high friction coefficient. When this happens over many links of a chain, it physically becomes longer up to the point where adjustment is no longer possible. The BMW M Endurance chain, like normal chains, also has this permanent lubrication between the rollers and the pins. What makes it a complete game changer is that the familiar chain lubrication is no longer needed, nor is any retentioning required from time to time due to the usual wear and tear. The Germans were able to get this right by basically drastically reducing the friction coefficient of the pin. With no friction, or a very small amount of it compared to standard chains, over time the pin will not wear into the bush and elongate the chain. Well, how did they get this right, you ask? Some sort of German magic? Nope, just pure unadulterated opulence. The coating materials for the rollers is tetrahedrally amorphous carbon. You thought I was gonna mess that up, didn't you? Or, in layman's terms, industrial diamond. The characteristics of this coating are extreme hardness and resistance, the fact that it does not wear off, and, as I've said before, the friction coefficient is drastically reduced. So, at the end of the day, you're getting all of the advantages of a shaft drive and none of its disadvantages. Shaft drives are great because they're basically zero maintenance for the user, but you do have to maintain them regularly by lubricating the splines and changing the final drive oil. Its main disadvantage is that when it does break, you're basically stuck right then and there. I have seen this happen, and yes, we were in the middle of a forest somewhere and getting a tow truck there was no fun at all. With a chain drive, you get a chain repair kit that you carry with you and simply fix it until you can get it replaced. I'm really curious to see some real-world tests of this chain. BMW hasn't provided any stats yet. I want to see what no maintenance means in real world. At the moment, the M Endurance chain is only available as an optional on the S1000RR and the 1000XR. BMW says they will be rolling them out. Did you catch the pun there? Rolling chain. For other models as well, and somehow hopefully they will be selling universal kits for other bikes and not just keeping this technology to themselves. Price wise, it's $100. You get a chain and diamonds and shaft drive like ease of use for $100. Mental. But don't let me hog all of the action. What's your take on this new chain versus shaft drives versus belt drives? We don't talk about belt drives here. We don't like them. They can't go off-road. So no. Let us know in the comments below. Well, that's the show for today, everyone. If you've enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up. And if you think you've learned something new, consider subscribing or becoming one of our patrons to help us make more of these shows. Cheers, and I'll see you on the next one.